Hi everyone, welcome to the Pegboard session, the first day one Pegboard session of Medical Office Administration 2. We're going to start on page 72, job 1-1. It's asking you to, we're talking about a patient named Mrs. Margaret Chandler, who's a new patient. Because Mrs. Chandler is a new patient, you're going to have to get a blank ledger card, which the blank ledger cards are in your plastic packet that was mailed to you. It's behind the yellow divider, and behind that yellow divider are blank patient ledger cards. Pull one of the blank ledger cards out, and at this point, complete the information above where the lines are in the front of the card. Do not fill out any information on the line portion of the ledger card on the front of that ledger card. Leave that blank. Only complete on the front of the ledger card the patient's name, address, city, state, and zip code, and phone number. Then turn it over and look and complete the back side of it. Look at a ledger card that's already completed in your packet. Those are established patients. That will help you in filling out information on the back of the ledger card. So again, on the front of the ledger card, only complete the top portion of that ledger card, the patient's name, address, city, state, zip code, phone number. Nothing on the line portion, please. Then flip the card over and complete the back portion of it with the information that's listed on page 72 under Mrs. Margaret Chandler. And again, use a ledger card that's already completed just to show you how they completed it. And, you're going to put their date of birth, social security number, those type of things, employer information, that type of information on the back. Okay, now that you have that completed, the scenario is Margaret Chandler, who's a new patient, comes in at 10:20, and she's concerned about chest pain whenever she does any physical exertion. Dr. Heath, who is our doctor throughout these 5 days of simulation, orders a stress test to be done at the hospital. Okay, because that test is being done at the hospital, we do not need to charge her for it. The hospital will charge her for it, so ignore that. The only service we provide to, Dr. Heath provides to Ms. Chandler is an office visit only. It's a level 2 new patient office visit, which is 99202, which if you flip to the back portion of your book, the back cover, and it's in numerical order, you'll go down to 99202. You'll see new patient level 2 problem focus, straightforward, and that tells you not only what type of a procedure, the description of the procedure, but also the cost of that procedure. In this case, we're charging a new patient level 2 $147. She's going to come in for a return appointment on Thursday at 9:15 for a re-examination. Don't worry about that. We're not going to do patient lists, so you can ignore any follow-up visits. We are going to have to give her a receipt. It will be receipt number 142. You can find that. If you don't know what it looks like, you can go under course documents, and we have a picture of it with the labeled with the type of form it is. She also gives us a $20 payment. God bless her soul. Okay, so on that note, what we're going to do is you're going to have to line up the ledger card, and if you go to under my modules, I do line up the forms for you, but you're going to get your ledger card. In the first line of your ledger card, blank line, you're going to line up with the first line on your day sheet. Put that down first. Line it up with the first line on your day sheet. Then get the receipt number 142 and put it on the pegs, which are on the left-hand side of your pegboard, and line up the receipt so the black portion of the back of the receipt, that is the carbon copy, that's how it's going to copy onto the ledger card and day sheet, is lined up to the first line, is lined up with the ledger card, which is lined up on the first line of your day sheet. Be very careful with that. Make sure you're going to have to manipulate the receipt on the pegs to make sure it lines up correctly. Be very careful of it. If not, I would advise, as all I do with all my students, have a nice big bottle of whiteout, and you can white out any mistakes that you make. Now, with no further ado, what we're going to do is complete the day sheet. Now, I don't have, obviously, the ledger card or the receipt on top of this. I'm just showing you the day sheet. You're going to be writing on the receipt, which will then transfer onto the ledger card, which then will transfer onto the day sheet. So right now, you should be looking at your pegboard, which has a receipt on top. Underneath the receipt should be the ledger card lined up, and underneath the ledger card should be the day sheet. So you have three forms you're writing on. Make sure you use a pen, because that's the only way the information will transfer from all three of those forms. Again, I do not have that on my screen. I'm just showing you the day sheet. Okay, so we're going to put 3-4. That's the first day of day one. So we'll put 3-4. And the reference, as I had told you, hopefully before you start this, by the way, again, under modules, I have video presentations on how to use this pegboard, and that will be very helpful prior to you doing this exercise. Again, I'm doing the first 3 jobs of day 1 for you. Okay, under reference, we always put the patient's first name, so we're going to put Margaret. Under description, we are going to put the CPT code. In this case, we only provided one service to Margaret, and that was 99202, and she did give us a payment. And as I had said in my videos that you've hopefully looked at prior to us doing this session, is ROA means received on account. That means the patient's given you either cash in hand at the office, or they've written a check and placed it in your hand. If they do either one of those payment methods, you would put ROA. If you receive the payment via the mail, you would put OT for other type. Again, ROA is received on account, and we've received that in person, in hand, either cash or check. In this case, she paid us cash. You don't need to document cash under the description. I only want you to document CK for check if we get a check, and I'll tell you why when that happens. Okay, the charge, as you remember, if you go into your back cover, was a new patient level 2 visit for $147. So put $147. She gave us a payment of $20. There's no previous balance. Why? Because she was a new patient. So $20 minus $147 is $127. Under the name, we're going to put the patient's full name. Margaret Chandler. And the receipt number, as you remember, is 142. She paid us cash, which is $20. And on your day sheet, at this point, if you would, under the business analysis summaries, please add OV, HV, lab, and diagnostic. OV stands for office visit. HV stands for hospital visit. Lab stands for laboratory. DIG stands for diagnostic. The only diagnostic service we're going to be using is EKGs in the office. So we need to document what service we provide to the patient in order to see how our office is operating. Do we need more equipment, more staff, less equipment, less staff? Do we need to schedule more days for lab or diagnostic services? That's what this analysis helps us make management decisions. Okay, so in this case, the only service we provided to Margaret was $147 an office visit. So that's the only thing you need to document. At this point in time, you can, once you have this documented, you can take the ledger card of Margaret Chandler off the day sheet, and you can take the receipt 142 off of Margaret Chandler off the day sheet and set it aside. And you're going to have, and we will have protocol set up, procedures set up on how to submit documents to me after day one's completed. But just to tell you very quickly, you can either, once you created these hard documents, I'm going to want the receipt back, and so you could take a picture of your receipt if you have a scanner on your printer at home, or you could take a picture of it on with your phone and send it to your email and save it as a picture at JPEG. So you can store that picture in there, and then under exercises, if you remember keyboarding, you would go under exercises, browse, you would go to that JPEG document and submit it to me via Blackboard. So that's how you would submit it to me, is via Blackboard. That is the way you will submit it, and I'll make sure we have a printed protocol procedure that you can follow, which will be under your modules, the procedures. I'll also put an announcement out for you. Okay, so let's go to job number 2. Good job, everybody. Now you can decide, you could skip a line, or you can put it right under each other. Doesn't matter. I'm going to skip a line because we have enough space. So the second job, oh, by the way, they also tell us we need to complete an insurance claim form. So in your book, just write on top of the paragraph besides job number 1-1, put a 1 with a circle around it, insurance claim form. Because we'll do these in day 3, the insurance claim forms. This is enough to do day 1. I don't want you to have to do the CMS 1500s, the insurance claim forms, when we're doing day 1. Okay, job 2 is Pamela Cameron, another new patient, arrives for her 10 o'clock appointment. Now, going to need to get another blank ledger card out, do the exact same process as we did with Margaret Chandler for Pamela Cameron. Her information is on page 73 in your medical office procedures with medical pegboard 5th edition book. Please fill out the top of the ledger card, nothing on the line portion in the front of the ledger card. And on the front portion, you're just going to put Pamela Cameron's name, address, city, state, zip code, and phone number. Flip it over, complete the information on the back. Again, use a card that they've already filled out just to use as a guideline on how to complete the back of that ledger card. Okay, now that you have that done, we will go to the scenario, Pamela Cameron, again, a new patient comes in at 10 o'clock. Dr. Heath examines her, and at this point, um, he's looking at her history sheet. She has an iron deficiency anemia. She's having problems urinating, pain. Dr. Heath takes a urine sample and performs a hematocrit, an HCT. That's the abbreviation for hematocrit. They want you to complete an insurance claim form. Um, Again, so right beside the job number 2, with a circle around it, insurance claim form, and she's going to get a receipt, which will be receipt number 143, and she has a follow-up appointment on Thursday, March 7th at 10:15 a.m. However, for the sake of this class, we are not going to be completing patient lists. Okay, so let us begin. Again, March 4th. Well, I tried formatting, and I think the cell's not large enough. Yeah, that did it. Okay. Okay, so 3-4. Hmm. I should have just paste formula. Anyway, just ignore me, everyone. That's fine. Okay. So we're going to put Pamela. And the services we provided to Pamela, again, was a new patient visit, level 2. If you go to the back of your book, again, you'll see it's $147. So, $99,202. We also provided a urine test without microscopy. So we go down in the back, and it's the 4th procedure code down, and it's 81002. We also provided a hematocrit, which is 8. If you look, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th one down, 8504, 14. Okay, so if I pull the calculator up here, we had $147 for the office visit. The urine analysis without microscopy is $9. And then the HCT, the hematocrit, is $7. So we have a total of $163. So, oh, isn't that nice? Anyway, I don't have the cells aren't big enough here. Just give me a second. I need to make the cells bigger. I wonder if I can just do that. No. Column width. Where did we end column width? We just had call him with that's not how you do it. Um, Give me a second here, ladies and gents. Ourselves. Uh, huh. No. We just. Okay. Oh well. This should be 99. Let me try this again. 99,202 85014 and 81002. We didn't get any payment from her. See, it takes it out. It just brings it up to they only let you put 3 digits in there. Well, that didn't help us. It allowed us to have a big number, but that's not what I want. Okay, bear with me, everyone. It's the column width that needs to be extended. Okay, hopefully that'll do it. That's because I have the numbers in there now. Format cells. This is so nice. Okay, go down to 2. That's what it was. Okay. Well, guys, just bear with me here. I thought I. Hmm. Okay. Anyway, as you can see what I was trying to do, I'm just going to go on, not to belabor the point. I'll make sure this is fixed in the future. I apologize. So we had $163 total charges. She didn't give us any payments. She had no previous balance because she was a new patient. So it's still $163. We're going to put Pamela Cameron. Receipt number 143. No payments. And we had an office visit of 147. And we had 2 tests. So that amounted to $9 plus 7 is 16. So that's the final thing. Now take Pamela Cameron's ledger card off, her receipt, and now we will go to an established patient who also is going to need an insurance claim form. But pull Walter Adams. His card is already completed. So it's in alphabetical order. Pull Walter Adams' card out. Line it up on the day sheet like we talked about. Does Walter get a receipt? Does Walter get a receipt? Walter gets a super bill. So, again, at this point, I'm not going to ask you to submit a super bill because it's too difficult to do it technically. So, we won't have to worry about completing a super bill for Walter. Okay, so let's walk through the scenario. Again, right by the job number, put number 3, insurance claim form. Put Walter Adams, or number 3, and that's going to be the third insurance claim form we're going to need to complete. Also, he's an established patient, not a new patient. Again, so line up Walter's ledger card on the day sheet. If you're skipping lines, just make sure you have it appropriately set, and then you're not going to have a super bill. So all you'll have is the ledger card, which will write onto the day sheet. So it's saying Walter Adams, an established patient, arrives for a payment. His blood pressure is elevated. So Dr. Heath performs an EKG and sends Walter to the lab to have blood drawn. So since an outside lab is doing his work, we don't have to worry about that. They're going to draw his blood, and they'll draw his blood, and they'll also charge for the lab. There's no copay for Medicare, and Mr. Adams does not make any payment at this time. He has a diagnosis of benign hypertension. He has a follow-up visit on Thursday, 10 a.m. Again, we're not completing the patient list. And he has a level 3 office visit with a modifier 25 for an additional EKG procedure, which is the EKG interpretation. So that'll be important to remember. So on top of the insurance claim form here, put modifier 25 because we're going to need that when we complete the insurance claim form. Okay, so for Walter, we're going to put 3-4. We're going to, the only procedure we did for Walter, we did actually a 99-213 because he was an established patient. And we also did an EKG with an interpretation. So if you look in the back of the book, that's in the middle of the book, EKG with interpretation. It's $93,000. He didn't give us any kind of a payment. So if you would like, his super bill is $240. Oh, excuse me. His charges are going to be $99,213, which was $99,213 is a $111 plus the EKG, which is $131. So he's going to owe us $242. So under charges, we have $242. He made no payments. His previous balance, since he was a established patient, was, and it's on your ledger card, 500. You'll see it if you pull Walter Adams. It'll show the line, the most recent entry. It'll show balance due, and it'll be $527. So under previous balance, we're going to put $527, and he owes us $527 plus the $242. So he's going to owe us $769. So we'll put Walter Adams. Now, again, if you want to put the receipt number, it's 242. That was his. That would be his super bill. We're not. You're not going to submit that to me though. No payments. Did have an office visit of 147, and he had diagnostic. EKG is diagnostic, and that was 131. So, this is what your day sheet should look like at this point in time. You have Margaret, Pamela, and Walter. Unfortunately, Pamela will have three CPT codes: 99202, 85014, and 81002. And then everything else, all the other entries we have. You've completed ledger cards for Margaret and Pamela. Walter already had one. And that hopefully should start you on your way. Now, job 110 is a check register. That's a completely different form. And I'll speak about that in my WIMBA session tonight at Wednesday, 5:30 at that's October 17th. I'll speak about the check register, but up to that point, it's all entries you need to make. If you have any questions, you can email me, phone call, whatever. I will respond to them as quickly as I can. Thank you, everyone, and I'll be doing more of these sessions for you, which you'll be able to find under the module section for to help you get through the course. Take care, everyone.